this is a little insight into the second method that I use. So technically we're already moving on to the next method that I use, right? So now mind you, it obviously means that this number right here, so I forgot to change. So let me just get rid of that so that we don't get confused, yeah? Let me just get rid of that real quick so that way we don't get confused. Alright, so let me just draw a little line like so. Alright. So let us see the connection, right? If I minus 15 from this, I end up with that. If I minus 15 from this, I end up with that. And then we'll go back to the trick that I used before. I'm going to keep adding a number to each digit to give me the 10. Right? So 1 plus 9. Right? And what that look like? That look like 61 plus 9. 61 plus 9 is 70. So I have to add a 1 to the 6 so it look like 70. So let us do that. Right? Now we have 7. So instead of it being 6, I work with the 7. 7 plus what? Give me 10. That's going to be 3. Right? So instead of this being, you know, the 61 plus 9 that gives me 70, now this look like 37 plus 3. So 37 plus 3, that will give you 40. So you're going to add the 1 to this 3 to make it look like you have a 40. Right? So this would be 70. 61 plus 9 is 70. 37 plus 3, 40. Don't it? Something like that. So now we have 3 plus 1, that's 4. 4 plus what give you 10? Well, we'll put the 6 right there. Now, again, 44 plus 6, that give you what? 50. So this is 40. So let's add a 1 to this. So now it's more like 50. Right? So 61 plus 9, 70. 37 plus 3, 40. 44 plus 6, 50. So we have one more thing to do. We have the 4 plus 1, that's 5. We're going to add a 5 to this. Now 35 plus 5, that is 40. And that's why we have to add a 1 right there. 9 minus the 4. And we get that 5. Now, we can put this number right here, so, right? I can put the number up here, so. Now, here's the fun part. Take this number, add it to this number, and by God, you should get this up here. Yeah? So you can literally do it one away or upon calculator or whatever it is, you know. So I'm going to do it like, you know, somewhere on the left side of the board that you can see. So we can see. You have your 3, 4, 3, 7, 6. And you add it to 5, 5, 6, 3, 9. Let me see. So I have my 5 carry 1, my 1 carry 1, 0 carry 1, 0 carry 1. Yeah, man. Now just in case, alright, let me just turn the camera a little bit and hope that I don't drop the phone in the process. Hold on there. There you go. That's what I did. Yeah. Right? So yeah. So sometimes when you're doing, well, any computation that you're doing, there's always a way to go back to the, you know, go back to the source. So if you can get your answer, you can go back to the original question, right? So if you can go right, you can go left. If you can go up, you can go down. North, south, east, west, right? Something like that. So yeah, so this is a little insight into my second method. And you might wonder, okay, what happens if, so obviously I'm going to make this stay here for just a little bit so you can have a look, right? But what if it gets a little trickier than this? Like, what if it was, let's say, alright, let's say we had all these numbers up here being smaller than the numbers down here. So let's say we had something like 7, 8, 6, 9, and this would have been like 1, 3, 4, 2, right? How would we deal with something like this? Well, you know, I have a little cheat code. Let me do this. Let me do this. Right? Let us imagine that we're going to turn all of those to zeros, right? So let us write everything that we see right there with zeros instead. Oops, hold on there. See, yeah, this crack in the board kind of throw off that. All right, cool. What am I going to do with that number, the 1342? I'm going to minus it from this. If I minus it from here, I end up with this number. But if I minus it from here, I must minus it from this as well. So the good thing about this is that the first digit we don't touch at all. So we can just put back the 3 right there, right? And then now, you can really have fun. 7 minus 1, put down 6. 8 minus 3, put down 5. Hold on, let me write it properly. Put down 5. 6 minus 4, we put down 2. 9 minus 2, we put down. Now, let us bear one thing in mind. Right? There is no guarantee that it always going to look like this. It just so happens that numerically this number is bigger than this. Right? That means this bigger than that, this bigger than, you know, all the numbers down here bigger than that. So this kind of work. But if it was kind of crisscross, there's a third method that I have that could solve that problem. So that you don't run into that. But because all of these numbers down here bigger than all the numbers up there, it's easy for just do the subtraction in reverse and put it down there. So now instead of dealing with this, we're dealing with that, and we go back to what we did in method 1, right? So now what we do, we add a number to each digit like we're going to get 10. So we add a 3. 27 plus 3, that's a 30, don't it? So 2 plus 1 is 3, we have that 3 is 0. Alright, now we have 3. Well, 7 plus 3 give you 10, so 3 plus 7, right? So that part easy. But now we have 53 plus 7, that gives 60. Therefore, in order to get the 60, we have to add a 1 to the 5. Right? No, it's not 5, it is 6. Right? Alright, cool. So now, what we add to the 6? Well, we add 4. Alright, now that look like 66 plus 4, that gives 70. In order to get the 70, you have to add a 1 to that 6. Alright, cool. Now we have what? 6 plus 1, 7. Right? So 7 plus 3. And of course, 37 plus 3 is 40. You add a 1 to the 3.